Chapter 1521, Peach Blossom Maze. Chapter 1521, Peach Blossom Maze. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Fong Clan had a long history. As a super force in Western Desert, Fong Clan was famous in the world for the Gu house business. It had its own unique wisdom path inheritance. Because both mortal and immortal Gu houses were essentially immortal killer moves, they were made from countless Gu worms, being comprehensive in both offense and defense. Fong Clan researched Gu houses and designed new Gu houses. They were deducing new immortal killer moves. They could not do that without deep wisdom path attainment. One could say that Fong Clan's wisdom path inheritance was incredible. After generations of research, even Fong Yuan, who obtained Spectral Soul's true inheritance, could learn much from it. Of course, even though the wisdom path inheritance was superb, the inheritor needed to be of a certain caliber. In the current generation, not only was Fong Dichang compatible with it, he even made Fong Clan's wisdom path inheritance prosper, becoming a great grandmaster. He did not use any dream realms to become great grandmaster. After all, he had reached it through hard work and research, step by step. Fong Clan had wisdom path inheritors through each generation, but for the last 1,000 years, Fong Dichang was the only great grandmaster that emerged. To reach this attainment level, immense talent was needed. Resources alone could not produce such a genius. Fong Dichang and Fong Yuan negotiated. The two fought with words. It was like two sword experts fighting in an enclosed space. Fong Yuan was suppressed gradually. It was a troublesome opponent. As expected of a wisdom path great grandmaster, impressive. Fong Yuan could make Fong Huasheng completely helpless in a contest of words, but Fong Dichang resolved them without any problem. Nothing that Fong Yuan said had any effect. Fong Dichang had a clear head and memory. His logic was smooth and reasonable. Fong Yuan could not confuse him. When people spoke, it was like a game of chess, thinking 3 moves ahead. Some things did not need to be said, while some were crucial to the conversation to prevent twisting of one's words. When wisdom path Gu immortals talked, they were not 3 steps ahead, they were hundreds or even 1,000 steps ahead. Fong Yuan negotiated with Fong Dichang not just regarding his own benefits, they even did analysis of the situation, discussing the matters of Divine Bean Palace, Fong Clan's current state, and even the entire trend of Western Desert. It was simply a debate. These things could not be understood by the human brain. They needed to use wisdom path methods and create countless thoughts, to deduce while debating. Fong Yun and Fong Lang were completely dazed while listening to them, thinking that these two were monsters with incredible cognition speed. They could speak without any thinking time, their words were sharp like swords. Listening to them made one feel extremely stupid. My wisdom path Dao marks are insufficient, even though I have immortal Gu, they were obtained recently. And they are not a complete set either, compared to the other party. My foundation is too weak. In the future, if I fight against Fong Clan, I need to find a way and kill this person first. In terms of wisdom path methods, Fong Dichang surpassed Fong Yuan. But Fong Yuan had rank 8 battle strength, far superior to Fong Dichang. Fong Dichang thought, this person's wisdom path cultivation is truly amazing. If he could be recruited into Fong Clan, it would be their blessing. He felt an urge to recruit this talented individual. If he knew Fong Yuan's true identity and the fact that Fong Yuan was planning to kill him, how would he feel? Ha ha ha. While debating, Fong Yuan suddenly laughed. Fong Clan's Gu immortals were confused. Why was he laughing for no reason? Fong Yuan bowed to Fong Dichang. I have heard of Senior's name long ago. It seems you truly live up to your reputation. I have learned a lot. Fong Yuan's sudden change of attitude made everyone feel surprised. They could not understand why Fong Yuan took the initiative to lower his requests. Earlier, I was merely finding trouble with your clan. Now that you have greater skills, how could I continue acting like so? Fong Yuan had a cold expression. Even when he apologized, he had an arrogant look. Oh. I understand now, this person is prideful. I have finally gained his admiration. Earlier, he was just trying to retaliate. But now that he saw my strength, he has been impressed. Fong Dichang's gaze flickered. He felt a deep emotion. With this personality and ability, he is not blindly arrogant. There is great benefit in getting him to join Fong Clan. But now, Divine Bean Palace is most important, his matter can wait first. Since Fang Yuan took a step back, both sides did not need to argue further, they quickly set a new agreement. This alliance agreement was very strict, there were no loopholes in it. Even Fang Yuan frowned secretly, all of the conditions were clearly listed, even the use of self-cleansing could violate it. It would not be easy to get free from this restriction, he would need to prepare in advance and expend a lot of manpower and resources. Of course, Fang clan was equally bound by this agreement. Since the alliance agreement was made, both sides became closer, Fang Yun, Fang Lang, and the rest looked at Fang Yuan in a warmer light. The matter of obtaining Divine Bean Palace is of paramount importance, getting friend Swan Bujin's help is our blessing. I hope you will come to Inquiry Dock with me, we need your help. Fang Dichang invited. Fang Yuan rolled his eyes in his mind. This Fang Dichang was not trusting of him after the alliance agreement, he wanted to keep Fang Yuan by his side. A Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster is truly a troublesome person. But Fang Yuan's confidence was in his battle strength, he was not afraid of Fang clan. In fact, he wanted Fang clan to attack him, that way he could execute the clause in the alliance agreement, if any side plots against the other party would be able to retaliate without breaking the alliance agreement. After settling Fang Yuan's matter, Fang Dichang went on to repair Immortal Gu House Fallen Flower Hall, while getting more reinforcements. Half a day later, Fang clan's Gu immortals worked together and repaired Fallen Flower Hall completely. If the Immortal Gu House was damaged, repairing would be hard. Fang clan had such efficiency, they were truly the #1 super force in expertise of Gu houses within Western Desert, and perhaps even the world. Not long after, Fang clan's reinforcements came, 2 rank 7 and 1 rank 6. After stabilizing Fang and Lei's injuries, she was sent back to Fang clan's headquarters by Fang Chen in an unconscious state. One of the 2 rank 7 reinforcements replaced Fang and Lei to control Fallen Flower Hall. This way, Fang clan had more than 10 Gu immortals in Green Ghost Desert, with half of them being rank 7. Among them, there was Fang clan's 2nd Supreme Elder Fang Dichang, and 3rd Supreme Elder Fang Huasheng, they were both strong experts famous in Western Desert. There were also rank 6 elites like Fang Yun and Fang Leng. This was a huge lineup, one could say that Fang clan had mobilized most of their Gu immortals in this expedition, they were truly adamant on getting Divine Bean Palace. After all, super forces had a lot of territory, they needed Gu immortals to guard their resource points. Like Wu clan, even as the #1 southern border super force, it could not easily relocate Gu immortals, Wu Yong was kept busy because of this matter. Fang clan brought out so many Gu immortals now, they must have been planning this for so long, they should already be guarding their territories by appearing to make their forces deployed elsewhere, or making secret alliances. This was very risky for Fang clan. If anything went wrong and they fell for the other super forces' schemes, Fang clan would be severely weakened, they would suffer huge losses. They might even face extermination. But for the sake of getting rank 8 Immortal Gu House Divine Bean Palace, this risk is worth it. Fang Yuan nodded in his mind, he approved of this action. After resting for a while, Fang clan's Gu immortals moved out. The 3 Immortal Gu houses flew together, within Inquiry Dock, Fang Yuan was standing beside Fang Dichang. Unexpectedly, Fang Dichang actually let him participate in controlling Inquiry Dock. The control of the Immortal Gu House was led by Fang Dichang and several other Fang clan Gu immortals. Letting an outsider like Fang Yuan take part in it was the same as exposing Inquiry Dock secrets to him. If Fang Yuan could learn the profundities of Inquiry Dock now, it would be much easier to deal with it in the future. Sensing Fang Yuan's expression, Fang Dichang smiled, "Friend, you wonder why I trust you so much? He, actually, it is not a problem for us even if you learn about Inquiry Dock's profundities. Firstly, we have an alliance agreement, and secondly, some things are easier said in theory, and thirdly, the design of our Inquiry Dock does not stay stagnant over time. The truth is, our Immortal Gu houses develop as our clan progresses, they continuously get stronger." Fang Yuan was moved, "I have learned about Fang clan's style of doing things today." Fang Dichang laughed loudly, "Come to speak of it, I am not sure about your situation, have you been cultivating in Green Ghost Desert all this time?" Fang Yuan did not panic when he was asked, he had prepared for this long ago. He answered appropriately, and even Fang Dichang could not sense anything weird. The two continued to talk while the other Gu immortals in Inquiry Dock focused on controlling the immortal Gu house. It seems that this Fang Dichang wants to recruit me. Fang Yuan could sense it from the other party's tone and expression, feeling a little amused internally. But he did not expose this, he pacified Fang Dichang as much as he could. We have arrived, this is it. After another while of flying, Fang Dichang suddenly fixed his gaze as he ordered the three immortal Gu houses to stop. This was still in Green Ghost Desert, but below the three immortal Gu houses, there was an ordinary desert with no outstanding features. Fang Dichang squinted his eyes. This divine bean palace is indeed deeply concealed. Set up the formation now. Immortal battlefield killer move, Peach Blossom Maze. At once, the surrounding 1,000 li turned into a peach forest. The trees were extremely tall and the branches were extremely dense. There were no leaves or flowers, not to mention fruits. They were completely bare. Amazing! Fang Yuan's heart couldn't help but shake. This immortal battlefield killer move could trap even rank 8 Gu immortals. It was very impressive. After all, this could only be created by combining the effects of 3 rank 7 immortal Gu houses. Oh! They are here. Deep underground, Chen Yi's heart also jumped. At this moment, he had actually infiltrated Divine Bean Palace. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1522, Green Armor Vegetable Garden. Chapter 1522, Green Armor Vegetable Garden. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Central Continent's Heavenly Lotus sect was created by Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable. During his era, this sect was the #1 sect in Central Continent without doubt. But now, it was reduced to mid-tier among the 10 great ancient sects. Times changed, be it organizations or people, they would not remain constant. There were no force that stayed strong forever, nor would they stay weak constantly. As the first Supreme Elder of Heavenly Lotus sect, Chen Yi had Genesis Lotus true inheritance. He had the ability to greatly interfere with Divine Bean Palace and influence it. Fairy Ziwei was adept at deploying people efficiently. She did not send anyone else to help Chen Yi. He could single-handedly take over Divine Bean Palace and eliminate the legendary immemorial soul beast Xianxia. It was highly likely that he could succeed. But something happened along the way. Because of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, this Xianxia was formed in Divine Bean Palace. It has some of the powers of Karma Divine Tree. Thus, it can sense anyone closely related to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. If I can capture it, I will be able to research and increase my own understanding of Karma Divine Tree. I can even use it to find the remaining Shadow Sect members. Chen Yi was moved. It was not hard to take over Divine Bean Palace and kill Xianxia. It was originally quite troublesome, but now that Xianxia was weakened, it was completely suppressed by Divine Bean Palace. Chen Yi was a rank 8 Gu immortal, the first Supreme Elder of Heavenly Lotus sect. He had incredible strength. Using Divine Bean Palace, he could easily get rid of Xianxia. However, Chen Yi had deeper considerations. He was the first Supreme Elder of Heavenly Lotus sect. He had the highest status there. Once this matter was settled, he would go to Heavenly Court. By then, he would no longer be the first Supreme Elder of Heavenly Lotus sect. His status would fall greatly. Heavenly Court was the strongest organization in the world. After Chen Yi joins, he would be a newcomer. He would have the lowest status. Chen Yi had been the first Supreme Elder for so long. He had been used to the benefits of authority at the top. He would not feel comfortable with this fall in status. He would want to change this and elevate his status if possible. And to raise one's status in Heavenly Court, it could be hard or easy depending on the situation. The method was always the same. One had to make contributions. If I can control Xianxia, it would help in hunting down Shadow Sect. I would be very important in Heavenly Court. I would be able to make contributions and raise my status and strength rapidly. I would no longer be in this awkward spot of being a newcomer. Ancestor Genesis Lotus had Karma Divine Tree, but this move was Wood Path after all. He might not have predicted today's situation. If he knew about the situation now, he would surely understand and acknowledge why I am doing this. Chen Yi made up his mind. After infiltrating Divine Bean Palace, he cooperated with it in suppressing Qing Chou, while trying to subdue this legendary immemorial soul beast. But just as he was still in the process of doing so, Fong Clan's Gu Immortals arrived and set up the immortal battlefield killer move Peach Blossom Maze. Once it was set up, Chen Yi immediately sensed it. They came after all. Chen Yi had a calm expression, he was not flustered. He had already expected Fong Clan's arrival. Go. Chen Yi stood within the palace, facing Qing Chou. He waved his sleeves and ordered Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine. In such a short time, he had already subdued them. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine wanted to resist, but after knowing Chen Yi's cultivation level and identity, along with Chen Yi's control over Divine Bean Palace that suppressed their master, these two immediately defected and became Chen Yi's lackeys. Howl! Howl! The entrance of Divine Bean Palace opened, a large number of soul beasts charged out. Over at the other end, at Fong Clan's side. As a Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster and the second Supreme Elder, Fong Di Chang was the leader of this expedition without doubt. He ordered as several Gu Immortals flew out of the three immortal Gu houses, converging towards the Divine Bean Palace at the center. This Peach Blossom Maze is truly profound. In reality, this Divine Bean Palace should be hidden deep down below the desert, but after the Peach Blossom Maze was set up, it became exposed here in entirety. Fong Yuan was still inside Inquiry Dock, his eyes were shining as he praised Peach Blossom Maze in his mind. Immortal battlefield killer moves could create an environment that benefited the user. The Peach Blossom Maze killer move was extremely amazing. It directly changed the terrain of the desert, forcing the hidden Divine Bean Palace to be exposed. Fong Yuan could not understand the mechanics behind this, he could only make some guesses. Fong Clan's three immortal Gu houses were concealed now. They were the cores that sustained the battlefield killer move Peach Blossom Maze. The Gu Immortals inside them were constantly expending immortal essence. This huge battlefield was filled with peach trees. At the center of this peach tree forest, there was a majestic immortal Gu house, Divine Bean Palace. At this moment, Divine Bean Palace's entrance opened, a larger number of soul beasts emerged. Countless desolate level and ancient desolate level soul beasts, along with three immemorial soul beasts. These three immemorial soul beasts were naturally the ones that Fong Enlei and Fong Yuan had fought before, the winged black python, bull-body leopard tail, and single-eyed giant. Meanwhile, Fong Clan had 6 Gu Immortals, 2 rank 6, for rank 7, Fong Leng, Fong Yun and Fong Chen were included, while 3rd Supreme Elder Fong Huasheng was the person in charge. When the soul beasts came out of Divine Bean Palace, they did not charge at Fong Clan. Instead, they surrounded Divine Bean Palace and stood quietly in a circular formation, encircling it. Boom boom boom. When both sides fought, Fong Clan's Gu Immortals were deeply shocked. The attacks that they unleashed on the Soul Beast army had great power, but when the commotion ended, these Soul Beasts suffered little injuries, and their injuries were even healing rapidly. What is happening? These soul beasts seem to be in a peculiar formation, their locations are specially arranged. While feeling suspicion, Chen Yi suddenly shouted in Divine Bean Palace, the entire place shined in green light, while also emerging from the deepest part of these soul beasts. Crack crack. With a series of crisp sounds, these green lights formed into wooden armor that attached to these soul beasts, shielding them from head to toe. Fong Yuan did not understand, but within Inquiry Dock, Fong Di Chang's expression changed as he exclaimed, "This is Divine Bean Palace's immortal killer move, Green Armor Vegetable Garden." Green Armor Vegetable Garden? Fong Yuan asked. Fong Di Chang looked at him and smiled bitterly. This is all the information Fong Clan has, we merely know the name and appearance, we do not know its exact effect. Fong Yuan showed deep interest in his eyes, he looked at the battlefield. This move has to do with Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable, it must not be simple. Let's probe it first. Fong Di-chang nodded, indeed. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1523, Extorting Fong Di-chang. Chapter 1523, Extorting Fong Di-chang. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Fong Clan continued to send out immortal killer moves that landed on the Soul Beast army. The scene was like a field of colorful fireworks. Light shined on the Fong Clan Gu immortals' faces, but they had ugly expressions. Even though there are some soul beasts killed, there is little effect overall. Their green armor can actually be linked together and split the damage evenly. That is amazing. The 6 Gu immortals from Fong Clan could not make an impact. At this time, a purple-clothed female immortal flew out of Immortal Gu House chicken dog coop. Let me try. She shouted as she used the immortal killer move that she had already prepared. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. At once, poisonous clouds appeared in the sky. The huge poisonous clouds casted their shadows downwards and shrouded Divine Beam Palace as well as the soul beasts. Within the clouds, countless sparrows flew out like arrows, moving rapidly and agilely. They were formed from the immortal killer move. Tens of millions of sparrows flew into the soul beast army. It was a chaotic mess. But soon, Fong Clan's Gu immortals developed grim expressions. The killer move had quite a grand entrance, but its effect was low. Even Fong Ji's poisonous cloud arrow sparrow is useless. Poison path does not have an effect. It seems this green armor vegetable garden has no weaknesses. Within Inquiry Dock, Fong Di-chang frowned tightly. He turned his head towards Fong Yuan. I wonder if friend Swan Wujin has any ideas? Fong Yuan shook his head. I cannot find any weaknesses either. But in my humble opinion, this Divine Beam Palace is acting differently from before. It is much more reactive now. Green armor vegetable garden is one aspect, but these soul beasts are also moving in sync and cooperating. They are defending Divine Beam Palace perfectly. The difference is too great now. Fong Di-chang nodded. He knew that Fong Enlei and Fong Yuan had fought against Divine Beam Palace earlier. It could only charge around earlier and could not use killer moves, like a brute. But now, this Divine Beam Palace was unmoving like a mountain. It was like a general in the battlefield, defending its formation and making Fong Clan unable to advance. The difference in performance was huge. The reason behind it was worrying Fong Di-chang. I set up Peach Blossom Maze, but Divine Beam Palace has not reacted to it. It is merely defending. Is it unable to move? Or is it stalling for time? Fong Di-chang was worried about the final possibility. If they were stalling, there had to be a reason. Because of this, Fong Di-chang made up his mind and told the Fong Clan Gu immortals who were fighting, come back, we will use Peach Blossom Maze to attack. Peach Blossom Maze was an immortal battlefield killer move. It could trap rank 8 Gu immortals. It was not simple at all. Fong Clan's Gu immortals returned to the immortal Gu houses as Peach Blossom Maze started to grow. The empty branches started to bud as green color spread. In the blink of an eye, a lush forest had appeared. An intense wind started to blow. There was rustling among the trees. Jade light waves started to develop. These waves crashed towards Divine Beam Palace. The Soul Beast army was forced to retreat. The desolate and ancient desolate level soul beasts at the periphery were all sent flying by the jade light waves. Peach Blossom Maze suddenly changed as it became extremely offensive. The soul beast army could not resist it. These soul beasts were roaring, but the jade light waves could not resist it by these individual beasts. Chen Yi frowned within Divine Beam Palace. This Peach Blossom Maze is quite something. At this moment, he was still suppressing Qing Chou. He could not free himself to control Divine Beam Palace personally. Divine Beam Palace burst out with profound light, enveloping all of the remaining soul beasts. These lights enveloped most of the soul beasts and gathered them into the bodies of the 3 immemorial soul beasts. The 3 immemorial soul beasts seemed to have gotten a huge boost. Their bodies expanded. They became gigantic monsters. The three monsters were like mountains that blocked the jade light waves entirely. Peach Blossom Maze transformed again. The jade light waves faded as the greenery condensed into a red halo. Next, countless red halos emerged like stars in the night sky. They were blooming peach blossoms. The peach blossoms were extremely vibrant. Due to the intense winds, countless petals were flying around. The petals slowly gathered as they formed into human figures in the sky. This killer move is called Flowery Wind Warriors. Friend, I would like to trouble you to control a part of them. Fong Dichang said to Fong Yuan. Fong Yuan nodded. After getting the authorization, he could also control the human-shaped flowers. As for the quantity, at Fong Yuan's first attempt, he controlled 12 Flowery Wind Warriors. Oh! Fong Yuan's eyes shined with surprise. Every Flowery Wind Warrior can be instilled with a killer move that would be unleashed upon self-detonating them when ready. You are very perceptive. This is the use of Flowery Wind Warriors. Fong Dichang smiled as he said. Fong Yuan tried to use Immortal Killer move Ignited Thought Flying Rock. Immediately, he controlled a Flowery Wind Warrior as it flew towards the top of Divine Bean Palace, self-detonating by itself. After detonating, waves of thought rocks crashed towards the ground. Divine Bean Palace did not move, but the three immemorial soul beasts were ignited with the flames of thoughts as their bodies shook. Fong Yuan's eyes shined. He praised in amazement. The killer moves are unleashed almost as quickly as by ourselves. It not only fixes an Immortal Gu house's weakness, it allows us to use the advantage of numbers without fear of expenditure. Many tactics need to be done carefully, but this move allows us to act rashly without consequences. While he said that, Fong Yuan moved a Flowery Wind Warrior and rushed down, arriving at an immemorial soul beast. Immortal Killer move, 180 slaves. Once he used this move, the immemorial soul beast's body froze. It was attacked by a formless force. At the same time, another three Flowery Wind Warriors descended, self-detonating into three Immortal Killer moves that blasted it into oblivion. But at the next moment, Divine Bean Palace flashed with green light. The immemorial soul beast that was injured rapidly healed as its injuries were not heavy to begin with. Difficult fight. Even with a unique move like Flowery Wind Warriors, Divine Bean Palace was too sturdy and firm in defense. The three immemorial soul beasts were like tough shields. Regardless of their attacks, the fortress was unmovable and did not shake. Fong Yuan had a lot of methods and used. He did not use his true trump cards, but Fong Clan's Gu Immortals did not do anything significant either. The situation went into another deadlock. Fong Dichang's brows were furrowed. Peach Blossom Maze only had 3 variations. They had already used the second move, but there was no change in the situation. Divine Bean Palace's defense was too strong. Right when Fong Dichang was about to use the third move, Fong Yuan made his move. 180 slaves. 180 slaves. 180 slaves. 3 Flowery Wind Warriors exploded. Fong Yuan had instilled Enslavement Path Killer move 180 slaves into all of them. All 3 moves exploded and landed on the winged black python immemorial soul beast. This immemorial soul beast was stiff like a statue. After a while, Fong Yuan shouted and it broke free from the enemy's control. It had been enslaved by Fong Yuan. The second immemorial soul beast was obtained. At once, both the enemy leader Chen Yi as well as Fong Dichang were shocked. Divine Bean Palace was supporting these immemorial soul beasts with green armor. They had strong defenses and could heal instantly. It was hard for Fong Clan to advance. But Fong Yuan ignored all these and directly took away the immemorial soul beast's control. Friend, you have an amazing method, so Enslavement Path is the weakness of Green Armor Vegetable Garden. I hope you can continue to use the move. Fong Dichang changed his tone after pausing. We will definitely compensate you heavily. Chen Yi snorted coldly. He actually made use of this weakness. It is a pity that they are not the Divine Bean soldiers produced in Divine Bean Palace. We can only use the Soul Beast army for now. If I was using the Divine Bean soldiers, how could they enslave it so easily? Inside Inquiry Dock, Fong Yuan smiled bitterly. I was just lucky. Earlier, I already used it to suppress one immemorial soul beast. This is the second one. I have reached my limits. To use it again, there will be a huge price to pay. I wonder, what compensation is Second Supreme Elder referring to? Fong Di Chang's eyes drooped. He tried to conceal the sharp light in his eyes as he became furious. This Swan Bujin dares to extort me the moment he gets a chance. Pay a huge price. He means that he can use it again, but that will depend on the compensation that we give him. We have an alliance agreement. He cannot lie on this matter, but to think that we would be extorted by an outsider because our Fong clan lacks a strong enslavement path expert. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1524, Great Thief Immortal Gu. Chapter 1524, Great Thief Immortal Gu. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Even though Fong Di Chang was furious, Divine Bean Palace was right in front of them. This was their goal for generations. They could not fail. And Fong Yuan's enslavement method was the best way to break the stalemate after all. Fong Di Chang smiled. What compensation do you want, friend? As long as you tell me, we will do our best to fulfill it. Fong Yuan asked for what compensation he would get, but Fong Di Chang flipped the question back at him. Fong Yuan laughed. Lord Fong is very straightforward. I am not greedy. I only want one rank 7 immortal Gu. Fong Yuan said this as he slowed down. His gaze flickered like he was embarrassed. Rank 7 immortal Gu. Fong Di Chang's heart jumped. He got more angry, but his expression became sincere looking as he smiled. With your ability to suppress all the immemorial soul beasts, the contribution is enough for a rank 7 immortal Gu. If my clan can obtain Divine Bean Palace in the end, we will promise you another rank 7 immortal Gu. Fong Di Chang not only agreed to Fong Yuan's request, he even added in more temptation. I am ashamed. Fong Yuan sighed deeply. I need to get this rank 7 immortal Gu now, otherwise, I cannot make up my mind to pay that huge price and subdue the remaining immemorial soul beast. How can you be so impatient? You don't trust my Fong clan. A Fong clan Gu immortal could not control himself, he shouted loudly. Fong Yuan cupped his fists. Everyone, the price that I have to pay is too huge, my foundation will be heavily damaged. I can only make up my mind after getting the rank 7 immortal Gu. Fine, my inquiry doc has a method to communicate with the outside world. I will send over a rank 7 immortal Gu from our headquarters. This is our rank 7 treasury, pick one. Fong Di Chang said as an information path Gu worm flew out of his sleeve. It was a rank 7 information path immortal Gu. It was rare to see such immortal Gu, Fong Yuan thought. It is hard for me to acquire information. An information path immortal Gu can help me gather information and find out many secrets. During rebirth, my past life's memories were tampered by heaven's will. There are traps in them. I cannot rely on these memories. During this period, I have been using shadow sex inheritance for information, but these things would become obsolete over time. This rank 7 information path immortal Gu is quite useful for me. Fong Yuan received the information path immortal Gu and inspected it. There were 6 rank 7 immortal Gu listed in it. Fong clan has such deep foundations. They definitely have more than 6 rank 7 immortal Gu. Fong Di Chang just hid those that he did not want me to take. Just these 6 immortal Gu made Fong Yuan feel dazzled. He was interested in each of these immortal Gu, because he had shadow sex true inheritance. Any immortal Gu could be put to good use in his hands. But soon, when Fong Yuan saw one of the immortal Gu, his heart shook. He made up his mind and chose it. Rank 7 Great Thief Gu. Fong Di Chang heard Fong Yuan's choice and was quite surprised. This was a theft path immortal Gu, but Swan Bujin was a wisdom path Gu immortal. Fong Yuan did not explain, he did not need to. Fong Di Chang displayed these rank 7 immortal Gu, it meant that they were disposable to him. In the current situation, Fong clan was in a rush for time, not Fong Yuan. If they wanted to stall for time and not give him the Gu, Fong Yuan would just do nothing. Or, is he afraid I will use this chance to stall him, so he purposely gave me a random answer? When I reject him, he will give it up immediately. Fong Di-chang guessed, Wisdom Path Gu immortals simply had too many thoughts in their minds. Friend, you really want this immortal Gu? Fong Di-chang confirmed again. Fong Yuan hesitated before answering, yes, this Gu. Fong Di-chang nodded, alright, I will accept this request. Saying so, he used a killer move and retrieved this rank 7 immortal Gu from Fong clan's headquarters, transporting it into Inquiry Dock. The process was very fast. Fong Yuan soon obtained this great thief Gu. With Fong Di-chang's help, he easily refined it. This great thief immortal Gu was like a beetle with a flat head and long horn. It was the size of an adult. Its black exoskeleton had a metallic luster, giving off a tough feeling. Fong Yuan obtained this immortal Gu and felt secretly excited. My gains are simply too great. I am a Theft Path Great Grandmaster now. I lack Theft Path Immortal Gu. To think that it would come to me now, this great thief immortal Gu came at such great timing. Not only can it display my superiority in Theft Path, I can even start making use of ghostly concealment now. Fong Yuan had the Theft Path attainment level. It was very easy to create Theft Path immortal killer moves. And the most important one was ghostly concealment. This immortal killer move was created by Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable himself. It was a rank 9 killer move with incredible power. But all along, it had been relatively useless to Fong Yuan. Why? Even though it could protect Fong Yuan from the detection of ghosts and soul beasts, whenever he tried to use an immortal killer move, he would be exposed. Nobody could see a firecracker buried underground, but when it is ignited and explodes, people would sense it. Furthermore, ghostly concealment had been interfering with Ghost Soldier Garment, weakening it and limiting its effect. Ghostly concealment did not expend immortal essence, it operated on its own. That was the ability of a Theft Path Supreme Grandmaster. Only Supreme Grandmasters could surpass the limits and restrictions of this world to a certain extent. Fong Yuan was a Theft Path Great Grandmaster, but he could not activate ghostly concealment himself. Even though he had a deeper understanding of it now, he still had many questions. But these questions could not stop him from making use of the active ghostly concealment. As for the way to use ghostly concealment, this rank 7 Great Thief Immortal Gu was the key to solving the problem. As long as I add in some mortal Gu and spend some time, I will be able to draw out and use a portion of ghostly concealment's power. Bright light flashed across Fong Yuan's eyes. But now, I need to get rid of the immemorial soul beasts. Fong clan's patience is dwindling. Fong Yuan wanted to establish a relationship with Fong clan in order to develop in Green Ghost Desert. He did not want to become enemies with them. Thus, within the sovereign immortal aperture, he killed the 2 immemorial soul beasts that he had just subdued. These 2 immemorial soul beasts were hard to kill, but Fong Yuan had control over them. Not only would they not resist him, they would cooperate with him in their suicide. After dying, Fong Yuan obtained 2 huge soul cores. Rank 8 Immortal Materials, Immemorial Soul Cores. This was very rare. If he was not in this situation, Fong Yuan would not have killed the 2 immemorial soul beasts. But there was no choice. 180 slaves relied on a huge number of soul beasts to work. Fong Yuan had a vast number of soul beasts, including desolate beasts and ancient desolate beasts, but they could only help Fong Yuan control 2 immemorial desolate beasts. That was the limit. Now that Fong Yuan wanted to control more immemorial soul beasts, it was impossible. He had no choice but to kill these 2 immemorial soul beasts. This was the huge price that Fong Yuan had mentioned to Fong Di-chang. He was not lying, it was the truth. Killing 2 rank 8 battle strength existences, was it not a huge price? However, after doing this, Fong Yuan used Attitude Gu and made himself shake as his face turned pale. Blood started flowing out of his mouth and nose. It seems that Swan Bujin was not lying. The method has a huge price to pay. At once, the Fong clan Gu immortals who saw this felt better psychologically. Even though this is not good, the situation is very urgent. Friend, I hope you can do your best. Fong Di-chang urged. Of course I will do my best. Fang Yuan shouted, seemingly gathering his focus as he used 180 slaves on the flowery wind warriors again. After 3 tries, Fang Yuan succeeded in subduing the bull-body leopard-tail immemorial soul beast like what he did before. Guh. Fang Yuan opened his mouth and spit out a mouthful of blood. His body could not stand firm, his face was pale as paper, devoid of any color, he almost fainted on the spot. Swan Bujin, be careful. Mind your health, we still need your help for the final immemorial soul beast. How are your injuries? I can heal you. Fang Clan's immortals spoke one after another. Don't worry, don't worry. Fang Yuan waved his hand, there was nothing to be worried about, he was acting. Fang Clan's Gu immortals heard his words as their anger dissipated. Next, Fang Yuan tried again and subdued the final immemorial soul beast. The truth was, he needed to thank Flowery Wind Warriors. If not for its ability to store killer moves and use multiple of them at once, how could Fang Yuan obtain the immemorial soul beasts? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1525, Myriad Life Spring Lightning. Chapter 1525, Myriad Life Spring Lightning. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Thanks to Fang Yuan's skillful actions, the 2 final immemorial soul beasts guarding Divine Bean Palace were taken away and enslaved. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture lost 2 immemorial soul beasts, but 2 more came in. One had a bull body and leopard tail, while the other was a one-eyed giant. This Swan Bujin is truly a wisdom path Gu immortal. Our Fang clan has been plotting for generations, but now, this outsider has gained huge benefits while we have yet to obtain Divine Bean Palace. Not only did he get a rank 7 immortal Gu from us, he even subdued 2 immemorial soul beasts, obtaining rank 8 battle strength. Fang clan's Gu immortals had varying expressions. Fang Yuan's gains were too huge, even the 3rd Supreme Elder Fang Huaxing felt a little envious, not to mention the rest of the Gu immortals. But this was normal mentality. Fang clan put in the most effort, but now, Fang Yuan the outsider had the biggest gains, while Fang clan continued to invest in this. It was no wonder that Fang clan's Gu immortals felt envious towards him. This Swan Bujin is very capable, he had a method to subdue immemorial soul beasts. But it is not a surprise, he was able to roam Green Ghost Desert and gather a soul beast army after all. But, why does he want Great Thief Immortal Gu? Does he have a theft path inheritance? This Great Thief Immortal Gu is one of the core Immortal Gu of Theft Path, it was created by Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable personally. An ancestor of Fang clan had obtained it from a lone immortal by chance. How can our Fang clan's Immortal Gu be so easy to obtain? How can we stop until we work this Swan Bujin to the bones? Fang clan's 2nd Supreme Elder Fang Dichang thought. He was about to speak but saw that after subduing the 2 immemorial soul beasts, Fang Yuan shut his eyes and sat down, pretending that he was gravely injured and needed to attend to his injuries. Friend Swan Bujin. Fang Dichang called out. Fang Yuan was silent. Friend Swan Bujin, how are your injuries? Fang Dichang's eyes shined with cold light. Fang Yuan was silent. It seems that you are gravely injured, why don't I help to heal you? Fang Dichang continued to pursue. Fang Yuan opened his eyes at this point, speaking in a hoarse and fatigued voice, no need to worry friend, I am fine, I can suppress these 2 immemorial soul beasts. The important thing now is to take down Divine Bean Palace. This Divine Bean Palace has transformed drastically, it is stalling for time now, there must be a good reason. If you allow time to be wasted, something might happen. Since it is trapped in our peach blossom maze, what could possibly happen? A Fang clan Gu immortal snorted in disdain. Fang Dichang's eyes shone with cold light as he gazed at Fang Yuan. But Fang Yuan gradually closed his eyes. This Swan Bujin is so shameless, I wanted to get him to attack Divine Bean Palace and probe for danger but he actually acted like this. It is a pity that the alliance agreement did not give me the right to command him. The big picture is more important now, this Divine Bean Palace has been our goal for generations, we cannot lose it. Even as a Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster, Fong Di Chang had to ignore him for now. He continued to give orders as the 3 immortal Gu houses expended a huge amount of immortal essence. Countless flower petals flew out like a storm. Within the rain of flowers, a large number of flowery wind warriors formed, controlled by Fong Clan's Gu immortals as they attacked Divine Bean Palace. Go and prove your loyalty now. Within Divine Bean Palace, Chen Yi had a cold expression as he commanded Eagle Concubine and Old Ghost by June. The two looked at each other with great worry and difficulty. Eagle Concubine said grimly, "With our strength, going out to fight will kill us. Please reconsider it, Lord Chen Yi." Chen Yi chuckled with a cold gaze, "If you defy my orders, you will die now. If you go out, I will reinforce you, there is a hope of survival. As long as I subdue this legendary immemorial soul beast in time, I will reward you. You know who I am, I will not lie. Make your decision in 3 breaths of time." Chen Yi was very forceful. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine had to obey his orders and go out of Divine Bean Palace, facing the flowery wind warriors. Boom boom boom. Both sides fought near Divine Bean Palace heatedly. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine were rank 7 Gu immortals. They were smarter than immemorial soul beasts. Especially when they were experienced demonic cultivators, they had been pursued by righteous path members before and were very skilled at preserving their lives. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine were suppressed, but they were very resilient. They managed to restrain these flowery wind warriors. However, as time passed, Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine got more injured as the situation became dangerous. Chen Yi was multitasking, reinforcing Divine Bean Palace while suppressing Qing Chou, and also observing the battle. He praised internally, "This move is amazing, it can store multiple immortal killer moves, allowing the immortal Gu house to utilize countless methods, becoming as flexible as an ancient battle formation. It is not simple." Thinking of this, he stretched out his hand as Divine Bean Palace shook. 2 rays of profound light landed on Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine. The profound lights moved quickly and entered both of their bodies. The 2 of them were shocked. They inspected their bodies but did not find anything peculiar. At this time, Fong Clan attacked again. They had no time to check, they had to fight again. But during the fight, something different happened. Whenever they got injured, profound light would shine on their bodies, the damage would be shifted away from them. This is Divine Bean Palace's method. Immortal Killer Move Graft Wood. It allows all of the attacks you receive to be taken by Divine Bean Palace instead. At this time, Chen Yi's voice resounded in their heads. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine were joyful and surprised. Joyful that they still had value and were not cannon fodder for Chen Yi. Now that he helped them, they could last much longer. Surprised that Chen Yi had already gained control of Divine Bean Palace to use a second move after arriving here for such a short time, it seemed like Divine Bean Palace was already falling into his hands. Fong Di Chang soon sensed this change. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine were safe and sound regardless of any killer moves that hit them. Profound light would flash on their bodies. What move is this? It is so mysterious. Not just attacks, even time path and space path supplementary killer moves cannot affect them. Fong Di Chang gradually developed a heavy mood. He ordered Fong Clan's Gu Immortals, "Go use a killer move to heal them." Fong Clan's Gu Immortals were stunned. How could they help their enemies? But Fong Di Chang had high reputation, nobody questioned him. They quickly got to work. Healing methods landed on Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine but had no effect. Oh. It seems that there is a capable person in charge of Fong Clan. Chen Yi's eyes flashed brightly. He could tell that Fong Di Chang was probing the effect of graft wood. Even healing killer moves are useless. Fong Di Chang soon used his method to make deductions before ordering, "Ignore them, target Divine Bean Palace instead." The immortals acted as commanded. Flowery wind warriors self-detonated as a large number of killer moves with varying effects, either in power or specialty, landed on Divine Bean Palace. Divine Bean Palace was shaking from the impact, but its core was untouched. Only a large number of mortal Gu were destroyed. Chen Yi nodded to himself. Fong Di Chang's tactic was very wise. He had deduced the relationship of Old Ghost by June, Eagle Concubine, and Divine Bean Palace. The two Gu immortals might dodge or defend against any attacks on them, but Divine Bean Palace could not, it was only passively receiving hits. And Fang Clan's killer moves were unleashed via Flowery Wind Warriors, the effect was amplified by Peach Blossom Maze itself. If that was not the case, Divine Bean Palace would not have been affected. Chen Yi frowned slightly, he could only influence Divine Bean Palace now, he did not have control yet. In some ways, he could not even compare to Qin Chou. Qin Chou could influence Divine Bean Palace and manipulate this immortal Gu house to fly around. But this authority was currently in Qin Chou's hands, Chen Yi could not make it move, therefore, it remained stationary. Chen Yi could kill Qin Chou and take away this authority, he would be able to make Divine Bean Palace fly in that case. But this way, Qin Chou would die, Chen Yi's own plans would be greatly disrupted. Therefore, Chen Yi was trying to get Qin Chou to surrender now. If he succeeded, not only would he gain Qin Chou's help, he could also make Divine Bean Palace fly away, he would not be in a passive state. Fang Clan changed its tactic and gained the upper hand. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine became ignored. These two had their own objectives too, they were forced out by Chen Yi to begin with, now that Fang Clan ignored them, they were happy with that. They reserved strength and did not go all out to interfere with their actions. Divine Bean Palace took the attacks of Fang Clan for several minutes, before Chen Yi's brows suddenly relaxed. After some time, he gained deeper control of Divine Bean Palace, he could use another method now. Too bad it isn't a defensive method, but if I use this, it can change the situation too. Chen Yi thought. Immortal Killer Move, Myriad Life Spring Lightning. At the next moment, Divine Bean Palace shook intensely, countless sparks that resembled dragons or snakes coiled around the palace. Lightning gathered into beads of jade-green lightning balls as they exploded around the palace. Rumble. After a series of explosions, only a few Flowery Wind Warriors escaped, the rest were destroyed. This killer move. Fang Di Chang's gaze concentrated as his expression turned grim for the first time. This spring lightning did not just destroy the Flowery Wind Warriors, it also landed on the ground and destroyed countless peach trees. These peach trees were formed from immortal battlefield killer move Peach Blossom Maze, normally speaking, they could regenerate rapidly. But the places where these spring lightning balls exploded turned into jade-green grasslands. Pine trees grew and took the place of the peach trees, becoming deeply rooted. Every spring lightning ball created one pine tree, gradually, a sparse forest was created. Even though this tiny forest could not compare to Peach Blossom Maze, it was like a rocky reef by the sea, adamantly resisting the regeneration of the Peach Blossom Maze. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1526, Chen Yi, Die. Chapter 1526, Chen Yi, Die. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. What an amazing killer move, life and death is interlinked, destruction and creation are gathered into one move. Peach Blossom Maze is the trump card of our Fang clan, it was actually resisted by this move, if this goes on, the entire battlefield killer move will break apart. Fang Di Chang was secretly shocked. Once the battlefield killer move was broken, all three immortal Gu houses would suffer backlash, they would receive huge damage. Fang Di Chang was originally confident in Peach Blossom Maze's power, but now, he saw a chance of it getting broken. Worthy of the rank 8 immortal Gu house Divine Bean Palace. Fang Di Chang sighed deeply, his determination to obtain the immortal Gu house became firmer. The stronger Divine Bean Palace was, the greater the fighting spirit of the Fang clan Gu immortals. We will use the third variation. Fang Di Chang changed his mind as he ordered. Fang clan's Gu immortals obeyed, the remaining Flowery Wind Warriors self-detonated, the entire peach forest had falling petals that disintegrated into nothingness, the green leaves wilted and became yellow, the branches became barren once more. But different from before, peaches started to grow at the tip of these branches. When myriad life spring lightning landed on these peach forests, most of the energy was absorbed by the forest and turned into nutrients that nurtured all these peaches. Oh! This variation move. Chen Yi's eyes shined, myriad life spring lightning's attack quickly became slower. Very soon, he noticed something. This third variation move of Peach Blossom Maze stored most of the power inside myriad life spring lightning and prevented it from unleashing its might. Even though it could not resolve the issue, myriad life spring lightning could not display its effect immediately either. It was a stalling method, but in this situation, it was effective. Because the forest was huge, it was hard to reach its maximum capacity, especially when Chen Yi was busy and could not focus on retaliating. After using this move, Fong Clan's plan was to stall and reduce the effects of myriad life spring lightning. Chen Yi could influence Divine Bean Palace to use three methods. They were Green Armor Vegetable Garden, Graft Wood, and Myriad Life Spring Lightning. Now, these three moves had all been countered by Fong Clan. Chen Yi could not do anything. Oh no! Qing Chou is still resisting. I need to increase my influence and use the fourth method in Divine Bean Palace, but that needs a lot of time. Fong Clan will definitely increase their firepower, they will not give me the chance. Chen Yi's heart tightened, he felt a bit anxious now. He was multitasking now, subduing Qing Chou while controlling Divine Bean Palace and facing the attacks of Fong Clan. He was within Divine Bean Palace now and could not freely attack. Most of his methods conflicted with this rank 8 Immortal Gu house. Thus, all of his abilities were practically sealed. Fong Clan made use of the opportunity indeed. At this point, the Peach Blossom Maze could no longer summon Flowery Wind Warriors. To play safe, Fong Dichang did not send Fong Clan's Gu Immortals to fight, he directly used the 3 Immortal Gu houses to attack Divine Bean Palace from 3 directions. Boom boom boom. 3 Immortal Gu houses were floating in the air, sending attacks towards Divine Bean Palace. Divine Bean Palace shook intensely, Mortal Gu were continuously destroyed, soon, even Immortal Gu were damaged. At this point, Fong Dichang had gone all out, the 3 Immortal Gu houses in Peach Blossom Maze attacked without holding back. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine were pale with fright, they did not dare to resist. Chen Yi knew about their mentality and summoned these two back into Divine Bean Palace again. The two of them could not resist the attacks of the Immortal Gu houses with their bare bodies, it was pointless to sacrifice them now, they would be useful later when Divine Bean Palace was broken into. When the Fong Clan Gu Immortals arrive, they could stall them for a moment. Time. Chen Yi needed time now. If he had enough time, he could control Divine Bean Palace and subdue Qing Chou, turning the situation around. If this was an ordinary opponent, they might fall into Chen Yi's trap, but he was facing the Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster Fong Dichang, he had deduced Chen Yi's plan and attacked fiercely. Chen Yi sighed bitterly in his mind, even though he resisted for so long, Fong Clan's leader was very perceptive, his plan could not continue. But even in this situation, this Heavenly Lotus Sect First Supreme Elder did not become dejected, he continued with his plan. Because he had one method left. Immortal Killer Move, Karma Divine Tree. At the next moment, Chen Yi's eyes widened as he burst out with an overwhelming aura, green smoke appeared from his head and shoulders. The green smoke rose above Chen Yi's head and formed into a huge Karma Divine Tree. Once this tree appeared, the entire Divine Bean Palace started trembling, like it was welcoming Chen Yi's presence. At the same time, Chen Yi's influence in Divine Bean Palace grew rapidly, the pressure he emitted on Qing Chou also became denser. Qing Chou had a bad feeling, it raised its head, but that Karma Divine Tree had a threatening aura, especially when a huge bad effect fruit had ripened within its lush leaves. This bad effect fruit had covered by dark smoke that slowly turned into Qing Chou's appearance. Qing Chou was created with a trace of Karma Divine Tree's power, it had a feeling when it saw this. Once this bad effect fruit smoke stops moving and turns into its appearance entirely, it would be completely subdued by Chen Yi without any way of retaliating. How could it allow that to happen? How could it? Roar! Qing Chou roared furiously. Its head that was suppressed on the ground with barely any strength rose up now. Its four limbs supported its heavy body, the scales on its neck protruded, its human hair was dancing in the air, its eyes were bloodshot and stared at Xianxia furiously. Its mouth opened and its tongue broke, its roar was like an impending tsunami. Incredible! As expected of a legendary soul beast, this Xianxia had been preserving strength all along earlier. Now that I used Karma Divine Tree, it has no choice but to retaliate. Xianxia was shocked. This Xianxia actually had the strength to scheme and try to turn the situation around. Xianxia quickly suppressed it. Xianxia's body immediately shook, its limbs bent, its tortoise shell had just lifted off the ground but it sank rapidly again. But next, countless goo worm auras emerged from its body. It used an immortal killer move. It was formed from the remnant souls of humans, it could cultivate and use immortal killer moves. Earlier against Fang Yuan, it had lost its reasoning, it was in a state of madness, it did not use any battle tactics. But against Xianxia, it was logical and used the most appropriate method. Xianxia resisted. Xianxia breathed in deeply, his face turned green as he gritted his teeth, his upper body was shaking as he exerted himself to use Karma Divine Tree. The Karma Divine Tree above his head became larger by 30%. Xianxia felt a deep pressure, it growled and used its second immortal killer move, continuing to fight. Like this, both sides continued to increase the use of their methods, they were still in a deadlock, while their excessive strength had all been utilized. You want to enslave me, you are dreaming. Xianxia breathed in deeply, using all its strength to unleash the final move. Rank 8 Soul Beast Token was the core of the move as an intense light spread out. This move's name was unknown, the ripples of light penetrated Divine Bean Palace, through Peach Blossom Maze, and into the entire Green Ghost Desert. The light was extremely fast, in the blink of an eye, it spread around the whole of Green Ghost Desert. The whole of Green Ghost Desert turned silent before the ground started to shake. Next, Soul Path Dao marks burst out and manifested, countless marks lit up the entirety of Green Ghost Desert. Roar roar roar. Next, all the soul beasts felt a summoning as they went to reinforce Xianxia. The expressions of Fang Clan's Gu immortals changed. Oh no, what is this move? The whole of Green Ghost Desert was affected. Green Ghost Desert has an uncountable number of soul beasts. But this move actually made all of them respond. Peach Blossom Maze is a battlefield killer move, it should isolate it from the outside world, but this move could not be blocked. At once, Fang Clan's morale plummeted, everyone was worried. I know. Fang Dichang expended his own lifespan to make the swift deduction, soon, he opened his eyes, the immemorial soul beast inside Divine Bean Palace was formed from the remnant souls of Qin Clan in the past. It is not simple, it has human wisdom, it is a legendary immemorial soul beast. And this Green Ghost Desert was created after Spectral Soul Demon Venerable slaughtered the entirety of Qin Clan, the Soul Path Dao marks left behind created this environment. If we see Green Ghost Desert as an incomplete battlefield killer move, this legendary immemorial soul beast is the owner of this move. It is using a method now to activate all the Dao marks in Green Ghost Desert, creating this terrifying move. Countless soul beasts are going to attack us, Peach Blossom Maze will be corroded by these soul path Dao marks and eventually collapse. Fang Dichang was a wisdom path great grandmaster indeed, he found the truth after some deductions. He immediately ordered everyone to attack, they could not hold back anymore, Fang Clan was racing against time. Fang Clan needed to break into Divine Bean Palace and kill Xianxia to resolve this move and obtain victory. Xianxia needed to resist Fang Clan while suppressing Xianxia and gaining control of Divine Bean Palace, he was also fighting against time. Xianxia did not want to be enslaved, it resisted, but its most powerful move used Soul Beast Token Immortal Gu as the core, the effect was not immediate. At once, all three sides fell into a deadlock. Any side could win or fail. This battle involving Divine Bean Palace was at its climax, who would emerge victorious? Boom! With a loud explosion, Divine Bean Palace's entrance was finally smashed apart. Charge! Opportunity flashed as Fong Di-chang shouted uncontrollably. Multiple Fong Clan Rank 7 experts entered. Once they went in, they were slightly stunned. Chen Yi, Old Ghost by June, Eagle Concubine, and Qin Cho were undoubtedly present. There was no doubt that relationship between these four was quite complex. Especially Chen Yi, he was emanating rank 8 aura, it was shocking. Chen Yi laughed, he looked at the Fong clan immortals in disdain. You are here to die. Fong Di-chang stayed behind them and easily exposed Chen Yi's bluff. He snorted and ordered, kill. This person is multitasking, he cannot do anything against us. Fong clan's Gu immortals immediately charged. Eagle Concubine and Old Ghost by June had no choice but to block them, but Fong clan diverted more people to target Chen Yi. Of course they had to get rid of this rank 8 existence first. Take this. Even a rank 8 will die. Accept your death. With Fong Huasheng at the lead, multiple Fong clan Gu immortals unleashed their strongest moves ever. Chen Yi stood on the spot, he could not move, all of the rank 7 killer moves landed on him. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1527, Fong Clans Rank 8. Chapter 1527, Fong Clans Rank 8. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Boom boom boom. Fong Clan's Rank 7 Gu immortal experts unleashed their might and attacked Chen Yi. At once, lightning flashed and thunder roared, piercing light shined in the whole of Divine Bean Palace. Air currents moved rapidly, but Chen Yi remained standing, unmoving. He was covered in layers of shining light, they were thick and old, like old tree bark. Fong Clan's Gu immortals attacked together, but the tree bark light blocked them all, they had no effect. What defensive method is this? Not only did the rank 7 Gu immortals take a deep breath of shock, even Fong Di-chang's pupils shrunk. Not only is he a rank 8 Gu immortal, he is an expert among rank 8s. We'll attack again. Fong Clan's Gu immortals were not dejected, Fong Huasheng shouted as he led an attack again. Boom boom boom. Fong Clan's Gu immortals unleashed more attacks, but Chen Yi could not dodge or move away, he was hit by them all. After the explosions faded, his body was still covered by the tree bark light, and it was even thicker than before. Fong Di-chang's gaze flickered, he finally recognized Chen Yi. So you are Heavenly Lotus Sect's first Supreme Elder Chen Yi. No wonder you have such an incredible defensive method. Chen Yi, the first Supreme Elder of one of the 10 great ancient sects in Central Continent. Even though the Fong clan Gu immortals lived in Western Desert, they had some information about Gu immortals of other regions. When they heard Chen Yi's identity from Fong Di-chang, their hearts sank. Pressure. A person's reputation created pressure, just the title of Heavenly Lotus Sect's first Supreme Elder demoralized all of Fong clan's Gu immortals. Divine Bean Palace originates from ancestor Genesis Lotus, your Fong clan wants to obtain it, you are simply disregarding Central Continent. Chen Yi spoke casually. Fong clan's rank 7 Gu immortals looked at each other, they were stunned by his attitude. Humph, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable left Divine Bean Palace in Western Desert, this means that it belongs to Western Desert. You are merely a descendant, how dare you distort your ancestors' decision? Fong Di-chang snickered, he was very skilled at arguments as a Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster, he would not lose in such a fight. Chen Yi laughed, it is useless, my defensive killer move is called Thickening Wood Armor, the more you attack it, the tougher it becomes. It is weak when I first use it, but unless you destroy it in one hit, it will only become stronger. Chen Yi said, he seemed to be exposing his move, but he was using words to reduce the fighting spirit of his enemies. Right at this time, a change occurred. An old and hoarse voice resounded, then let this old man try. As he said this, a rank 7 Gu immortal took a few steps forward and arrived in front of Chen Yi. His appearance rapidly changed, from a young rank 7 Gu immortal into a muscular old man with white beard and hair. This old man had bulging muscles that resembled rocks. He raised his huge fist that aimed at Chen Yi's face. This fist quickly filled Chen Yi's vision. Before it landed, Chen Yi's heart was already pounding. He felt an immeasurable amount of strength path Dao marks slamming towards him. Chen Yi's expression changed. He could not dodge this move, he had to take it. The fist landed on Chen Yi's face. Chen Yi instantly felt that a terrifying force crashed into his face like a colliding mountain. At once, he was sent flying like a cannonball. With a loud sound, he crashed into Divine Bean Palace's walls. He did not fall to the ground, he was fixed onto the wall. Puff! Chen Yi's 7 orifices were bleeding, his head was almost smashed, his bones were definitely broken, but jade light soon shined on his body as he healed himself. As for his defensive killer move, it was smashed by this old man in one punch. Fong Gong, as the first supreme elder of Fong clan, a rank 8 great expert, you actually used a sneak attack. How shameless are you? Chen Yi shouted, his anger was spewing out like fire. He exposed this old man's identity immediately. He was Fong clan's first supreme elder, Fong Gong. This Fong Gong is indeed a strength path cultivator. Among the rank 8 Gu immortals in the 5 regions, he is a rare one that cultivates strength path. This person concealed himself so deeply, he had been following us the entire time. Fong clan is too determined this time, they even brought a rank 8 existence here. Earlier, the 2 rounds of attacks by the rank 7 Gu immortals were just a cover, they were setting up for Fong Gong's attack. This must be Fong Di Chang's plan. Fong Yuan had been watching the battle, he was quite shocked. The grand rank 8 Gu immortal, first supreme elder of Fong clan, actually concealed his identity and used a sneak attack. This was more shameless than a government official stealing a chicken. If news spread, his righteous path reputation would be ruined. But precisely so, Fong Gong's sneak attack was extremely effective. The situation was turned around with Chen Yi sent flying. The stalemate had been broken. Fong clan's first supreme elder Fong Gong forced away Chen Yi, he had the upper hand now. Fong clan could control the situation. Chen Yi fell for the scheme and was forced back. His accumulated control over Divine Bean Palace had been lost by half. He felt horrible. Because his objective was heavily interrupted. But he still had a chance, his injuries were not severe. Chen Yi's defensive method was broken, but he had the killer move Graft would earlier to protect Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine. He naturally used it on himself too. Thus, Chen Yi's injuries were sustained by Divine Bean Palace instead. Crack crack. Divine Bean Palace took the damage for Chen Yi. Cracks appeared on the walls of the palace. At the same time, the cracks spread to the roof and the tall pillars. Crack crack. Several large pillars shattered into piles of Gu worm corpses. Fong Yuan's heart jumped. He thought, Fong Gong's attack must have taken all his effort. Even though that punch was very simple, it had actually concealed all of its aura. Therefore, after breaking Chen Yi's defense, the remaining force still caused such great damage to Divine Bean Palace. But Fong Yuan added in his mind, of course, this is because rank 8 Immortal Gu House Divine Bean Palace did not use any defensive methods and was taking the hit normally, and because the attack was dealt internally, the damage was this great. Roar. As Divine Bean Palace's huge pillars collapsed, Qing Chao's roars also reverberated the area. Divine Bean Palace was heavily damaged, the suppression it felt also reduced. Qing Chou benefited from it. It raised its head and tried to hold up its body, it shattered the spears of light stabbing its body, it was about to rise up again. Noisy. Fong Gong frowned and leaped towards Qing Chou. Qing Chou roared and faced Fong Gong. Boom. Both sides collided. Qing Chou cried out in pain as its mountain-like body was sent flying by the ant-like Fong Gong. Fong Gong landed on the ground as he snorted, touching his fist as he jumped forward again. Qing Chou was a legendary immemorial soul beast, but it actually lost to Fong Gong in a physical brawl. Who is the immemorial desolate beast here? Fang Yuan was dazed. Chen Yi frowned deeply, thinking, Fang Gong is very powerful, I cannot allow him to gain an advantage and obtain control over the situation. You have already attacked, now it is time to face my move as well. Chen Yi joined the battle, reinforcing Qing Chou. Fang Gong had been suppressing Qing Chou, but due to Chen Yi's interference, that advantage vanished. If Chen Yi worked together with Qing Chou, Fang Gong would not be able to match both of them, and because they had a common enemy, they could work together now, although barely. Fang Gong cultivates strength path, his power is deeply embedded in his body, he has a huge advantage in this battlefield. As for me, I can only unleash 60% of my methods. Chen Yi had a bitter and indescribable feeling. Divine Bean Palace was something all of them wanted. In this rank 8 battle, all of the people were suppressing their attacks and refused to use wide-ranged methods. The 3 rank 8 existences were fighting within Divine Bean Palace, while Fang Clan's rank 7 Gu immortals had all left. Staying here was courting death after all. The difference between rank 7 and 8 was huge. Fang Clan's rank 7 Gu immortals attacked Chen Yi and could not even penetrate his defenses, it was truly futile. Even though these Fang Clan Gu immortals retreated, they did not return to the 3 immortal Gu houses, they fought in Peach Blossom Maze. On one hand, they were fighting Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine, on the other hand, a large number of soul beasts had already entered Peach Blossom Maze, they needed to be dealt with. This is really bad. Fang Dichang had an ugly expression, Green Ghost Desert's Dao marks are penetrating in here, the Peach Blossom Maze battlefield has already been corroded, it cannot last much longer. Countless soul beasts are rushing in here, there are too many to kill. But First Supreme Elder is still fighting in there, unable to finish matters, what should we do? Even as a Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster, Fang Dichang was only rank 7, he could not solve the problem. And as time passed, Fang Dichang's analysis came true. Peach Blossom Maze got weaker and weaker, loopholes started to appear in some areas, the desert outside could be seen. And the view was terrifying, outside Peach Blossom Maze were countless soul beasts. They were all summoned by Soul Beast Token, gathered into a sea of them, every moment, countless soul beasts entered Peach Blossom Maze, there was no way to kill them all. Old Ghost by June and Eagle Concubine felt a fall in pressure, they worked together and did not dare to leave. They could only focus on protecting themselves. The crucial thing now is within Divine Bean Palace. Fang Yuan opened his eyes, he slowly stood up, having a clear understanding of the situation. Within Divine Bean Palace, 3 rank 8 existences were still fighting. Qing Chou was roaring, Fang Gong was solemn, while Chen Yi was bitter, they all had ugly expressions. Because even though they held themselves back, their attack still affected Divine Bean Palace, this rank 8 immortal Gu house was about to break apart. If Divine Bean Palace gets destroyed, what would be the entire purpose of this fight? They only wanted Divine Bean Palace. And if this continued, this battle to fight for ownership of Divine Bean Palace was going to be the reason for its destruction. I can help your Fang clan obtain this immortal Gu house. At this moment, Fang Yuan spoke to Fang Dichang. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1528, Yama, Ghost Hand. Chapter 1528, Yama, Ghost Hand. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Fang Dichang was stunned. Fang Yuan was Swan Bujin at the moment, as a rank 7 Gu immortal, how could he resolve the problem? But Fang Dichang quickly reacted, smiling brightly, go ahead and say your request, friend, what do you need in order to help us now? He was a Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster after all, regardless of whether Fang Yuan had a plan, he had to try. And Fang Yuan said this on purpose to negotiate his compensation. Fang Yuan smiled too, this situation is urgent, we cannot talk slowly. But Divine Bean Palace is a rank 8 immortal Gu house, if I help you obtain it, what sort of compensation can match my contribution? Fang Dichang did not hesitate, He bowed to Fang Yuan as he said earnestly, "Friend, I can guarantee on my reputation that Fang clan will give an appropriate compensation for your contribution." "Alright, then we will set an agreement, giving me a compensation worthy of my contribution." Fang Yuan clapped. Both sides made an agreement. "Please open inquiry doc, I will go out personally," Fang Yuan said again. Fang Dichang was surprised. He thought that Fang Yuan had found some weakness because he was a wisdom path Gu immortal. But to think that he was going to act personally. So be it if he was making a move, but he wanted to leave Immortal Gu House inquiry doc. Once he left, the outside world would be very dangerous. Especially that Divine Bean Palace, 3 rank 8 existences were fighting in it. The difference between rank 7 and 8 was huge. There was a chance of dying if he got involved. Fang Dichang hesitated. "It is not safe outside. Why don't I use Peach Blossom Maze's variation move and summon Flowery Wind Warriors for you to unleash your methods instead?" Fang Yuan laughed. "I need to use this method personally. Don't worry, I will not harm Fang clan's interests." Fang Dichang was not worried about this, be it the alliance agreement earlier or their new one, there were related rules. Once Fang Yuan did anything against the interest of Fang clan, he would be breaking the agreement, he would face a fierce backlash. But since Fang Yuan said this, Fang Dichang could not stop him. He opened inquiry doc. Fang Yuan flew into the sky, getting into Peach Blossom Maze. Fang Dichang did not blink. He was focusing on Fang Yuan's actions. He wanted to see what method Fang Yuan had to help Fang clan obtain Immortal Gu House Divine Bean Palace. At the next moment, Fang Dichang's eyes widened. Fang Yuan actually charged into Divine Bean Palace. Is he trying to die? At once, Fang clan's Gu immortals could only think of this possibility. But Fang Yuan came prepared. Immortal Killer Move. Yama. 1. He activated the Immortal Killer move that he had just created inside inquiry doc earlier. Once he used this move, the thin layer of silk clothing on the surface of his soul shined with a profound light. This profound light interacted with the soul coat, which was his ghost official garment. Ghost official garment expanded rapidly, covering Fang Yuan's body and forming a huge imperial robe that was brown in color with pale green in it. The robe had wide sleeves and a jade belt on his waist. The left and right side of the robe was laced with golden threads that formed the images of ghostly monsters. He also wore a royal crown that had hanging beads at the front and back. 1. Once this move was used, Fang Yuan's aura changed completely. He became eerie, dark, and unfathomable. What is this person doing here? Chen Yi squinted as cold light flashed in his eyes. That rank 7 wisdom path Gu immortal. Fang Gong recognized him, but did not understand why he was here. But both parties were cautious, they did not attack yet. Fang Gong was informed by Fang Dichang while Chen Yi decided to observe the situation first. If he attacked now, Fang Gong might find a chance to attack him. Fang Yuan officially entered Divine Bean Palace. The 3 rank 8 existences had been fighting, their battle strength and concentration were mostly kept among themselves. Chen Yi did not attack. Fang Yuan let out a sigh of relief. He increased his speed and flew towards Qingzhou. Seeing Fang Yuan's action, Chen Yi and Fang Gong's attacks became slower. What is he trying to do? Fang clan's Gu immortals were all watching Fang Yuan. A wisdom path Gu immortal approaching the legendary immemorial soul beast. This. Seeing Fang Yuan's rash action, many Fang clan Gu immortals were lost for words. Qingzhou roared. It pounced towards Fang Gong. It roared again. It pounced at Chen Yi. Fang Yuan came directly to it, but it completely ignored him. It did not sense him at all. This was the effect of the killer move Yama. This move was very special. Its core was the immortal killer move Ghostly Concealment. All along, Fang Yuan had not been able to use Ghostly Concealment well, because he could not pair it with his other moves. Qingzhou could detect Fang Yuan earlier because he used killer moves to fight. He had exposed himself. But it was different now. After gaining Theft Path Great Grandmaster attainment, even though Fang Yuan could not decipher all the profundities of ghostly concealment, he had enough ability to make use of this rank 9 killer move. Yama was one of his deduction results. It combined ghostly concealment and ghost official garment. The two were no longer separate and did not conflict anymore. After Fang Yuan used the killer move Yama, no matter what he did, Qin Chou could not detect him. Seeing that Fang Yuan was on Qin Chou's tortoise shell, be it Fang Clan or the two rank 8 Gu immortals, they were stunned. What happened? He got close to Qin Chou so easily. This Qin Chou is a legendary immemorial beast that has an immortal aperture. It is able to cultivate. Many Fang Clan Gu immortals could not believe it. But next, what Fang Yuan did almost made their eyeballs pop out. Immortal killer move, Great Thief Ghost Hand. Fang Yuan directly stood on Qin Chou's back as he grabbed at it with his right arm. He was merely rank 7, but he dared to provoke a rank 8 existence like this. Many Fang Clan Gu immortals had two thoughts. The first thought was, is this person trying to die? The second thought was, even though he was rash, one had no choice but to admire his courage. Qin Chou roared. It pounced towards Fang Gong. Fang Gong, again. Qin Chou roared. It attacked Chen Yi. Chen Yi, you idiot, there is someone on your back. Chen Yi felt something amiss. Ever since Fang Yuan appeared, everything had been too strange. Therefore, he reminded Qin Chou. Qin Chou was still able to think. It wanted to turn around, but Fang Yuan's Great Thief Ghost Hand had already activated. A huge black eerie hand entered Qin Chou's body. Qin Chou turned around to look at his back. Fang Yuan was there, but it could not see him. But soon, it roared as it pounced at Chen Yi after feeling angry from being deceived. Chen Yi was furious too. He screamed, "You idiot, stop." Fang Gong was also moved. He thought, this Swan Bujin is amazing. He is right there, but Qin Chou cannot detect him no matter what. What method is this? And he is currently on Qin Chou's back. His objective is definitely not simple. What does he want? At the next moment, Fang Gong's questions were answered. Fang Yuan's expression changed as he pulled out the ghost hand that had entered Qin Chou's body. When the ghost hand flew in, the 5 fingers were opened like a fan. But now, it was extremely fast and clenched, like it was holding on to something. I got it. Fang Yuan was very happy. He opened his immortal aperture as the ghost hand went inside. Qin Chou's huge body suddenly shook. His entire body cracked as the tortoise shell was on the verge of breaking apart on the spot. It was a soul beast. It could not spit out blood, but this scene showed that it was heavily injured. Rage. Anger. Qin Chou roared as it raised its head. Its furious voice turned into sound waves that reverberated Divine Bean Palace. The entire place was starting to shake. What is going on? What did Swan Bujin do? That fellow seemed to have taken something. Fang Gong and Chen Yi were both uncertain and suspicious. Chen Yi squinted and wanted to attack Fang Yuan, but Fang Gong blocked him and defended against the attack. Boom! At the next moment, Qin Chou came crashing over. Fang Gong and Chen Yi quickly dodged. Qin Chou roared, "Who is it? Which one of you two stole my soul beast token?" What? Upon hearing Qin Chou's words, all of the Gu immortals present felt their hearts shook intensely. He actually has a way to steal the rank 8 immortal Gu soul beast token. No wonder he wanted to take Great Thief Immortal Gu earlier. He had this method. Feng Dichang's eyes were wide open. Shock was all over his face. This person is not simple. He concealed himself so deeply. Qin Chou has an immortal aperture. He could actually steal the immortal Gu from it, and it is rank 8. At once, Chen Yi thought of a famous person in history, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. Did this person obtain Thieving Heaven's true inheritance? Chen Yi thought while shouting, "Qin Chou, you idiot, I reminded you already that someone is on your back. We did not steal it, that fellow did. He is at the door." Qing Chou turned to look. Fang Yuan was flying towards the outside of the palace, but Qing Chou could not see anything. Qing Chou used an investigative immortal killer move but also found nothing. The investigative killer move managed to detect Fang Yuan, but Qing Chou could not perceive it at all. Qing Chou was even angrier than before. It aimed at Chen Yi as he roared, "You coward, I am sure you are the one. You idiot." Chen Yi was furious and felt maligned. He retaliated. Both sides fought with greater intensity now. Fang Gong could tell that this was bad. Earlier, the three parties restrained themselves, but now, after losing a rank 8 immortal Gu, Qing Chou was going mad. It was filled with anger. Why would it hold back? Fang Gong persuaded them, but it was useless. Not only so, Chen Yi did not want to face Qing Chou's rage alone. He flew towards Fang Gong and the three rank 8 existences fought once more. But now was different than before. The three sides did not hold back. They started to use killer moves. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1529, Refining Soul Beast Token. Chapter 1529, Refining Soul Beast Token. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Inside the sovereign immortal aperture. A fan-like dark eerie ghost hand was flying around in the sky. Its fingers were clenched. Rank 8 immortal Gu soul beast token was struggling inside, trying to escape. The dark eerie ghost hand was met with this soul beast token's rampage. There were protrusions on the ghost hand as the 5 fingers trembled. It was about to give way. However, even if soul beast token escaped from the ghost hand, it was inside Fang Yuan's immortal aperture. It had nowhere to run. It would merely go from a tiny cage to a bigger cage. Fang Yuan thought, this immortal killer move Great Thief Ghost Hand that I conceptualized uses rank 9 killer move Ghostly Concealment as the core with rank 7 Great Thief Immortal Gu and others as the supplement, therefore it could even steal a rank 8 immortal Gu like Soul Beast token. However, this move cannot last long. It does not have any sealing properties. I need to work hard to refine this Soul Beast token myself. While he was thinking, Great Thief Ghost Hand was increasingly weakening as Soul Beast Token Immortal Gu did its best to escape from the restraint. However, Fang Yuan's goal had already been met at this point. Heaven Sealing Mountain. This was originally used to seal his immortal zombie body's heaven's will. But now, Fang Yuan's immortal zombie body had his split soul. It was a rank 6 time path clone now. Heaven Sealing Mountain was empty as a result. Go. Under Fang Yuan's manipulation, Great Thief Ghost Hand entered the cave inside Heaven Sealing Mountain and into the Gu formation. Fang Yuan activated the Gu formation. Great Thief Ghost Hand stopped trembling. The Soul Beast Token Immortal Gu inside was temporarily suppressed. Even though it still struggled, it was already far less than before. I cannot constantly suppress Soul Beast Token like this. The urgent matter now is to find a place to refine this rank 8 Immortal Gu. Fang Yuan thought about this. His speed did not fall. After getting out of Divine Bean Palace, he went out of Peach Blossom Maze's loophole and left the battlefield directly. He left. Fang Yuan's action made all the Gu immortals feel surprised. Chen Yi gritted his teeth in hatred. He could not do anything about it. He was facing the attacks of Qing Chou and Fang Gong. Such resolution. Fang Dichang praised as he sighed deeply, watching Fang Yuan's figure that gradually became smaller. After Fang Yuan left, he met with countless soul beasts. There were an uncountable number of soul beasts. Fang Yuan was deeply moved. But he had a thought and controlled himself. He did not kill them to harvest soul cores. He needed to refine rank 8 Immortal Gu Soul Beast token now. As for the rank 8 Immortal Gu House Divine Bean Palace, those 3 rank 8 existences could continue to fight for it. Fang Yuan understood his own abilities clearly. Even with reverse flow protection seal, he was only able to fight rank 8 and have rank 8 battle strength. If he interfered in the battle of the 3 rank 8 existences now, and competed to obtain Divine Bean Palace, there was little hope and a high chance for mishaps. Once he exposes reverse flow protection seal, he would also expose his identity. He might even face Fang Clan's attacks. This was not worth it for Fang Yuan. he wanted to have a working relationship with Fong Clan and use Green Ghost Desert to cultivate Soul Path. His alliance agreement with Fong Clan was also a factor. It was not easy to get rid of it, he needed time to prepare. Even though Fong Yuan took away Soul Beast token, the Soul Path Dao marks in Green Ghost Desert still continued to corrode Peach Blossom Maze. There was a sea of soul beasts around the entire battlefield. But Fong Yuan left easily. He had Yama Killer move, he could use Ghostly Concealment's effect, even Qing Cho could not find him, not to mention these mere soul beasts. He flew rapidly and left Green Ghost Desert without looking back. After confirming his safety in the lack of people in the proximity, Fong Yuan landed on an ordinary desert. Fong Yuan went underground and set up a temporary Gu formation, eliminating all of his aura and traces. After that, he focused his mind to deal with rank 8 Immortal Gu Soul Beast token. Soul Beast token had been refined by Qing Cho, its will was inside. Fong Yuan had a lot of difficulty refining it. This was the most basic part of Gu refinement, single refinement. The single refinement of an existing Gu worm. The essence of it was to use one's own will to replace the original will of the Gu worm inside. Gu masters use primeval essence to refine mortal Gu because the primeval essence belonged to them and contained their will. When Gu immortals use immortal essence to refine immortal Gu, the same logic followed. Wild Gu worms contained wild wills and were hard to tame, they were difficult to refine. But man is the spirit of living beings, trying to take away someone else's immortal Gu was even harder. Fong Yuan had been planning an inquiry dock for a long time, he was not unprepared. Rank 7 Immortal Gu, Affection and Self-Love. Fong Yuan first took out these two Immortal Gu as he activated Self-Love Immortal Gu on Soul Beast token. The will of Qing Cho inside Soul Beast token was quickly affected, it started to love and treasure itself. No matter what Fong Yuan did from now on, this will would not take a risk and self-detonate Soul Beast token. Next, Fong Yuan used Affection Immortal Gu, sending its will into the Soul Beast token. Both wills interacted and started to compete. Affection was not a will that specialized in offense, it was quickly destroyed by Qing Chao's will. But there was lingering affection will that scattered in Soul Beast token, it was not completely decimated. This was the specialty of Affection will, it allowed Affection Immortal Gu's effect to linger. But as time passes, the lingering affection will would be eradicated. Fong Yuan continued to activate Affection Immortal Gu as he sent in its will continuously into Soul Beast token. But no matter how much Fong Yuan sent in, Qing Chao's will would destroy it, while suffering little losses. Qing Chao's will was very powerful inside Soul Beast token, and was very stubborn. Immortal essence was rapidly expended, but Fong Yuan could sustain the cost, he had already prepared a lot of immortal essence, his earlier development in the immortal aperture was paying off now. After several minutes, Fong Yuan stopped instilling affection will into Soul Beast token. There was a lot of affection will left inside, even though most of it was erased by Qing Chao's will, the remaining amount was quite a lot. After reaching its limit, there was no way of raising its quantity. At this point, Fong Yuan sent his self-will into Soul Beast token. Once self-will went in, Qing Chao's will became furious, charging at it like a frenzied beast. In comparison, the battle between Qing Chao's will and affection will earlier was like a drizzle. Fong Yuan's self-will fought with Qing Chao's will, the fight was one-sided, the self-will army could not match it at all. For example, Soul Beast token was like a camp that was the territory of Qing Chao's will. Fong Yuan's self-will was like an invader traveling by boat, only able to send in a small number of troops each time. With such a small scale, it was easily wiped out by Qing Chao's will each time. But Fong Yuan ignored that, he continued to instill self-will. His advantage was that with enough immortal essence, self-will was endlessly produced. Meanwhile, Qing Chao's will could not be replenished. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, as time passed, Fong Yuan's advantage grew, he stabilized himself and eventually matched Qing Chao's will, having half the control over Soul Beast token. Qing Chao's will rumbled intensely, knowing that it was not Fong Yuan's match, it wanted to detonate this Soul Beast token. But at this time, the lingering affection will activated, erasing the determination from Qing Chao's will. Fong Yuan also sent in fake will and interfered with the decision of Qing Chao's will. Eventually, Fang Yuan sent in a large amount of self-will and charged like an army, erasing all of Qing Chao's lingering will. I finally refined Soul Beast Token Immortal Gu. Fang Yuan let out a breath of air, his forehead was full of sweat. This battle was like a major war involving countless troops, he was extremely tired. Looking at the time, 3 days and nights had passed in the outside world. Thankfully I have wisdom path methods and compatible immortal Gu, otherwise, I could not have refined this Gu. Sigh, even though I have great thief ghost hand and ghostly concealment, I only managed to replicate a trace of thieving heaven demon venerable's capabilities. I was merely making use of his accomplishments. Legend says that thieving heaven demon venerable has a move, Steel Heart, it has the power to steal the will inside immortal Gu and instantly refine them, it is truly amazing. Fang Yuan was sighing in his mind, he stored Soul Beast Token and quickly went back to Green Ghost Desert. I have Soul Beast Token Immortal Gu, together with 180 slaves, I can enslave that Qing Chou. With Qing Chou, I would have a huge possibility of obtaining Divine Bean Palace, after all, it has huge control over Divine Bean Palace. Even if I face the backlash of Fang Clan, I have the ability to protect my life, and if I obtain Divine Bean Palace, I will gain immense profits. Fang Yuan analyzed in his mind. After successfully getting Soul Beast Token, he started to work his mind on trying to get that rank 8 Immortal Gu House Divine Bean Palace. But when he flew to the periphery of Green Ghost Desert, he was intercepted by a Gu Immortal. Please wait. An ordinary-looking female immortal had stopped him, she smiled politely, having rank 7 aura. What is it? Fang Yuan had a thought as he slowed down. The female immortal smiled, I am He Gu, I saw that you were flying fast, you must have an intended destination. With Green Ghost Desert's huge change, I heard that a precious treasure had emerged, I wonder if you have any information. I am willing to buy it. Fang Yuan's expression did not change, but he felt something amiss in his mind. Originally, Fang Clan had caused a huge commotion when trying to get Divine Bean Palace, all of the soul beasts in Green Ghost Desert were stirred, this could not be concealed, Western Desert's Gu Immortals noticed it and came over. Fang Yuan spent 3 days and night to refine Soul Beast Token, many Western Desert Gu Immortals had already arrived. I'm afraid the battle ended already. If the 3 parties are still fighting, the power of rank 8 cannot be concealed, the commotion would be grand. How can these Gu Immortals be clueless now? I wonder how this battle ended. Who obtained Divine Bean Palace? Fang Yuan could not help but think. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1530, Plotting Against Qing Chou. Chapter 1530, Plotting Against Qing Chou. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. So that's it. Fang Yuan immediately contacted Fang Clan's Gu Immortals and found out what happened. This battle over Divine Bean Palace had indeed ended. Fang Clan obtained it. Heavenly Lotus Sect's first Supreme Elder Chen Yi said some words before leaving. He wanted Fang Clan to take good care of Divine Bean Palace, he would return to retrieve it next time. As for Qing Chou, it also escaped, it had deep foundations, it had more rank 8 Immortal Gu than just Soul Beast Token. Even though Fang Clan obtained Divine Bean Palace, among their 3 Immortal Gu houses, Chicken Dog Coop and Inquiry Dock were both heavily damaged, First Supreme Elder Fang Gong also suffered heavy injuries. And the Divine Bean Palace that they got was nearly half destroyed. However, after Fang Yuan contacted them, Fang Clan promised to pay the compensation that Fang Yuan was supposed to get. And it was very high according to their alliance agreement. But Fang Clan wanted Fang Yuan to hold on first, because the commotion was too big now, news that Fang Clan obtained Divine Bean Palace would be deduced very soon. By then, Western Desert would be in a huge commotion, many super forces would not want Fang Clan to obtain this Immortal Gu House and became the #1 super force in Western Desert. By then, Fang Clan would face pressure from all directions, they needed to raise their strength during this peaceful period and rest. Especially their Immortal Gu houses, they needed to repair them. Thus, Fong Clan was tight on funds, they wanted Fong Clan to give them some time. Fong Yuan thought about it and agreed. Firstly, the alliance agreement was not strict on the payment timing. And secondly, Fong Yuan wanted to maintain a good relationship with them. The situation was different now. Fong Clan provoked Central Continent's Heavenly Lotus sect. It was the same as provoking Heavenly Court. Fong Yuan, who was acting as Xuanbu Jin, had also been part of this. From Fong Clan's perspective, he was their natural ally against such a strong enemy. On another hand, Fong Clan was facing great pressure and wary of Fong Yuan's high battle strength. Xuanbu Jin was a wisdom path Gu immortal with methods to enslave a soul beast army. During the battle in Divine Bean Palace, he even showed the ability to steal rank 8 immortal Gu soul beast token. It was simply shocking. Thus, Fong Clan had a very vigilant attitude. They did not want to provoke him, especially at this timing. Fong Clan was facing huge danger. They did not want to antagonize Fong Yuan. They even wanted to rely on him as external help. Fong Yuan understood their intentions easily. First was Tang Clan, and now this Fong Clan is also a good pawn to resist Heavenly Court. Fong Clan was plotting against the world. His vision looked towards the future. Western Desert would definitely go into a commotion. The crucial thing is how much battle strength Fong Clan still has left, how much of Divine Bean Palace's power can they unleash. If Fong Clan could endure all of the pressure, Fong Yuan would not mind helping them and stabilizing their relationship. If Fong Clan could not defend themselves or even faced extermination, Fong Yuan would not help them. In fact, he would go ahead and try to snatch Divine Bean Palace for himself. Fong Yuan watched on the fence. He had a calm emotion. He had gained a lot in this Divine Bean Palace battle. Firstly, he obtained rank 7 Great Thief Immortal Gu. Together with his Theft Path Great Grandmaster attainment level, he could start to use ghostly concealment. It was a qualitative breakthrough. Secondly, he obtained Soul Beast Token. Such a rank 8 Immortal Gu could not be obtained normally even if one had huge assets. And thirdly, his relationship with Fong Clan improved drastically. They even owed him lots of compensation. Even if Fong Yuan obtained Divine Bean Palace, he would need to invest a lot to repair it. In addition, his burden of feeding Immortal Gu would intensify. This result was not necessarily suboptimal for Fong Yuan. But at the moment, there are lots of Western Desert Gu immortals in Green Ghost Desert. I cannot start my plans here. Originally, Fong Yuan was going to let Wu Xia and the rest farm soul cores in Green Ghost Desert to help his soul cultivation. But he could not do so now. There were too many people now, he could not act. And there was the biggest threat, Qing Chou, which had escaped. This legendary immemorial soul beast had rank 8 battle strength. Fong Yuan did not fight against it personally, but he could see how powerful it was. Even with reverse flow protection seal, he could at best only fight evenly with it. Right now, Qing Chou was missing. It could likely be hiding in Green Ghost Desert. This way, whether Fong Yuan sent Wu Xia to hunt or stayed here himself, there was great danger. If they fought, just the exposure of his identity would ruin many of Fong Yuan's plans. I should leave. Fong Yuan had many wisdom path methods. In just a while, he made the wisest choice. He decided to leave Green Ghost Desert, and even leave Western Desert. Friend? At this moment, Gu was still beside Fong Yuan. Seeing his silence, she asked again. Fong Yuan chuckled as he looked at her. This woman was quite astute. She deduced many things just from his flying movement. Fong Yuan's gaze flickered as he said, I have some precious information. If you want to buy them, you need to be able to pay for them. Gu smiled. No worries, friend. Even though I am a lone cultivator, I have some assets. As long as your information is accurate, I will definitely pay an appropriate sum. Fong Yuan created a simple agreement with Gu before he told her some things about Qing Chou. They were all truthful words. Gu's eyes shined brightly. Oh. A soul beast that has to do with Qing Clan. Qing Clan's inheritance seems to be with it. I am unsure about the specifics. Fong Yuan shook his head, not willing to say anything else. Gu was satisfied with the information. She paid Fong Yuan a lot of Western Desert immortal materials. Even with Fong Yuan's wealth, he was quite surprised. Among these immortal materials, one was ancient divine wood. It was a rare rank 6 immortal material. Even though it was rank 6, it was very rare in Treasure Yellow Heaven. It could be sold at the price of a rank 7 immortal material. This was a small surprise. Fang Yuan earned some profits while exposing Qing Chao's information. On one hand, he was helping Fang clan to divert the attention of the Western Desert Gu immortals towards Qing Chou. Secondly, as long as Qing Chou was alive and hidden, Fang Yuan's plans in Green Ghost Desert were severely affected. He could make use of these Western Desert Gu immortals to find out where Qing Chou was. If they really met and discovered this legendary immemorial soul beast, good luck to them. My information is true. Wisdom Path Gu immortals will definitely deduce upon it to test its reliability. This involves Qing clan's inheritance. Even rank 8 existences would be moved. If 1 or 2 rank 8 Gu immortals act, Qing Chou would be in trouble. As a Wisdom Path Grandmaster, Fang Yuan used this opportunity to plot against Qing Chou. But that He Gu was not satisfied. She asked to explore Green Ghost Desert with Fang Yuan. Lone immortals working together was common. Of course, Fang Yuan rejected her. Fang Yuan bid farewell to He Gu and left. That He Gu wanted to follow him, but he easily took a turn and used familiar face to disguise himself, getting rid of this woman. Fang Yuan did not enter Green Ghost Desert. He left from the periphery of Green Ghost Desert. He flew for several days without rest, arriving at Western Desert's regional wall. After passing 2 regional walls, he reached southern border. The blazing sun was replaced by dark clouds in the sky. Western Desert had dry winds, but southern border was humid and moist. Looking far away, mountains were covered in vegetation. The scene was dyed in a dark green color. Southern border. Fang Yuan's eyes flashed with a mild light before becoming clear again. Within the 5 regions, he was the biggest impression of southern border. Immortal investigative killer move, Chi Luck Sensation. Immediately, he used the killer move as cold light shined in his eyes. He had connected his luck to upper extreme heavenly eagle earlier. Now that he used Chi Luck Sensation, he sensed its location to an extent. Fang Yuan's main objective in southern border now was to obtain control of the upper extreme heavenly eagle again. This space path immemorial desolate beast was very useful to him. With it, Fang Yuan could annex all of the blessed lands within City Well. His immortal aperture's foundation would rise sharply and his Dao marks would increase in number. The southeast direction. Fang Yuan stopped Chi Luck Sensation as he flew into the clouds at lightning speed. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible.